You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days fans. It is Belinda from Soap Dirt with your weekly Days of Our Lives prediction edition. We've got 3 brand new prediction, one for Holly Jonas, one for Melinda Trask and Wendy Shin, and one for Marlena Evans and Nicole Walker. As usual, our predictions are based on official soap opera spoilers, recent episodes, promos, and sometimes on soap history that we all know. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed already, please click that button so you don't miss any of our updates. And all right, let's unwrap this since it's Christmas Eve already. Our first prediction is that Holly Jonas's coma is caused by drugs from the bistro. So if you don't remember, in the Day of Days promo, we saw Holly Jonas in a coma. She's on a ventilator. Then we saw Tate Donovan arrested. All that is coming soon. I am confident that Tate is blamed for something that is not his fault. And I think Holly overdoses, winds up in a coma. He's somehow blamed, but this all could circle back around to the bistro and back around to Clyde Weston. On Monday, December 25th, Nicole finds Holly hungover, according to official spoilers. And then she, I guess, sobers her up and takes her off to spend time with Eric and baby Jude. I actually think this whole thing might do more harm than good because Holly can see what her life could have looked like had she, not been in the DeMera mansion, abandoned on her birthday while her mom is grieving the loss of her infant. Then on Wednesday, December 27th, Holly goes to see Tate at John and Marlena's place to apologize, says official spoilers. And he's going to ask her out for New Year's Eve. And then there's a New Year's Eve party at the bistro. So I assume that's where they will go. But I wonder if Holly already got some sort of illegal takeout from the bistro. So before Tate arrives for their date on Friday, according to official spoilers for the 29th, Holly's popping pills and Nicole almost catches her. So I have to wonder if Holly got these pills from one of Clyde's drug dealers who pick up their shipments from the bistro there in downtown Salem, the one that Ava and Stefan are running together. So will Holly be in a coma because of an overdose, and it's ultimately Clyde Weston's fault, but also Ava and Stefan's fault for rolling over and letting him blackmail them? They could have gone to the police for help, Nicole may be terrified she'll lose her only child once Holly slips into a coma, so that's going to be really sad. Then there's a 2-week spoiler for the week of January 2nd through 5th that says a grandparent finally sees a grandchild. And I've gone through the list of current grandchildren and grandparents and coming up with one who hasn't seen one. Maybe it's Maggie Horton coming to see Holly Jonas at the hospital. Remember, Maggie is Daniel Jonas's biological mother, so she is Holly's biological grandma. All right, our second prediction is about sketchy ex-DA Melinda Trask and computer hacker extraordinaire Wendy Shin. I suspect they might develop a close, maybe strange relationship. So on Wednesday, December 27th, official day spoilers say Melinda and Wendy Shin bond over their upbringing and talk about their past. Of course, they're both grieving. Wendy is grieving the death of her brother, Lee Shin, and Melinda is still grieving her dead daughter, Haley Shin. It's been, like 3 years since she died. I'm trying to remember. It's been a minute. So both Melinda and Wendy were brought up by very strict and traditional Chinese families. If you remember, Melinda got pregnant and she was made to give up her daughter to her parents to raise. Haley was brought up thinking that Melinda was her sister. If you remember, Haley then came as like an illegal immigrant to the U.S. and just when Melinda and Haley were just getting to know each other as mother and daughter, Haley was killed off by Kristen DiMera during an episode at the hospital where Kristen was basically mourning and just lashing out. She didn't mean to do it, but it happened. And of course, Wendy Shin is all alone in Salem because Lee Shin was murdered, which I still don't think he's dead. I think he left on that submarine with sketchy Dr. Rolfe. But with these two bonding and the recent mention that Melinda made to Sloan about her daughter Haley, I think that Wendy and Melinda might form a solid friendship and sort of a quasi like surrogate mother-daughter relationship, because Wendy's so sad. She's far from her family. She doesn't really want to go back to Hong Kong because she doesn't want to leave Trip Johnson. Plus her family is very strict. They're very disapproving. They're very judgmental. They're going to hate Trip just because he's not Chinese. And Melinda, of course, is all alone in the world. And all she has is Sloan Peterson, which is not a lot to have in your life, right? So I'm interested to see, and I kind of hope that Wendy and Melinda do become friends and kind of help support each other. I think that could be really cool. Our third prediction is that Marlena may diagnose Nicole with delusions and misplaced anger. So next week on Thursday, December 28th, Nicole has her first therapy session with Dr. Marlena Evans. And I wonder how that's going to go and just how messy it's going to get. I know it's going to get messy. So in a way, it's a conflict of interest because Marlena is Eric's mom and Nicole is her ex-daughter-in-law. But of course, conflicts of interest and medical ethics don't stop anybody in Salem from doing anything. So I just wonder what all's going to come out. Like if Nicole will insist that my baby is alive, Sloan is my baby, or if she will say, I really thought that was my baby, but because of the test, it must not be. I wonder if she's going to tell Marlena that she kidnapped Sloan and Eric's baby in the park. I think she's probably going to rage about Sloan not deserving to be a mother because she abandoned the baby in the park or in the town square. Of course, that was awful. But, you know, and of course, Marlena is no fan of Sloan Peterson's at all. But with Nicole going into all this, it may sound like the delusions of a mad woman, a woman who is suffering from the worst type of postpartum depression, because you get postpartum even you have a healthy baby, but when a baby dies and you're grieving and you can have postpartum and all those hormones have no place to go. I mean, I definitely think there's a lot going on inside of Nicole. And I think it'd be interesting if Marlena, thinks there's a serious diagnosis there when really Nicole is completely accurate in all of her feelings that Sloan is a bad mother, that is really her baby. So I just wonder if this diagnosis is going to come about or if Marlena is really going to listen to her and go, okay. Or if she's going to be like, you're deluded and maybe you need a little break at the psychiatric hospital to recover. That would be kind of terrible. So we'll see. All right, that's it. That's our prediction edition. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely drop your comment on all of our day's predictions, agree or disagree. Let me know where you hope these storylines are going. And of course, we're here 7 days a week, talking Days of Our Lives, spoilers, and news. And as always, it is Belinda from Soap Dirt. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.